The thing that strikes me is you bring a passion and a perspective to this that is really beyond the partisan bickering we hear in Washington and we hear on talk radio or cable, and I'm doing both now, or in civil rights, what I do.
Yeah.
You talk as a mother, and you talk as someone who said, I've been there and I know what ordinary Americans are facing, and this is why they need to deal with this.
Yeah, and Barack and I just met with a group of mothers because we're talking to mothers. Mothers are the ones who make the decisions about health care in their families. They're the ones dealing with sickness on a regular basis. They're the ones who have the ear to their kids, or their teenagers, their young adults who think they're invincible and don't need insurance. We're talking to them because they're the ones with the stories, just like me. You know, a room full of women who, had young people with cancer that they never imagined, Sons and daughters who are working part-time jobs don't have insurance, but, are running across these curveballs that I've talked about. And they tell their stories with tears in their eyes, that until this act was passed, there was one mother who said she cried herself to sleep every night because her son was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer in his early 20s, and she didn't know how she was going to pay for it. So she was praying every night that the act wouldn't be repealed. So that's the kind of personal, story that's often missed in that back and forth that turns this issue, which is a pretty plain and simple issue, Reverend Al. This is about getting people health care who didn't have it and can't afford it. And now we have Obamacare. And it's affordable. Most people can get a plan for as little as $100 a month. They can be insured. They can go to a doctor on a regular basis. When they get sick, they won't go bankrupt. It's as simple as that, but healthcare is so confusing to most people that it's easy to confuse the situation.
It's easy to confuse the situation, and that's what Republicans are trying to do. Like Congressman Darrell Issa smearing the navigators who help explain up, or groups backed by billionaires trying to scare young people out of getting insurance, or Republican leaders who have no health care plan besides repealing the law. They want to confuse us. But like the First Lady said, this is a simple issue. It's about taking care of our fellow Americans and putting people before politics.